I'm sure you saw it. My Hero, the manga, is officially finished. It's over. It had its ending. It got a tribute from Oda on the cover of the last chapter of One Piece. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Irbal Sinergy to the shop. I'm your host, G. With me as always, the Sound Master, the Troll, Irby.
It's a me,
Irby.
Sound Master on the beat, baby.
Mustard on the beat. Are you mustard on the beat?
I would be honey mustard or sriracha, you know.
Did you say sriracha? Sriracha on the beat, ho.
Sriracha mayo, a little spicy, but also got that little savory to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how it be in the streets, in the
Word
city.
up, dog.
Yeah, word to your mother. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you don't know about that song.
Nah.
That's for your time. Little young blood.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
That's what you said? Because that's what you meant?
Yeah, but yeah. What's your flavor this week?
My flavor this week, that's a very interesting question that I haven't really thought too much about.
What you waiting on?
Flavor this week. You know, you go first. I gotta think.
Pull
my phone out.
I've caught up on the My Heroes.
Oh, did you read it all?
Nah, dog, I watched it all.
Oh, still good. They're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I'm on the I think they got like 2 more episodes left in the season. But yeah, my boy, I've enjoyed it. Deku, he's going a little crazy at times. But my boy Todoroki fighting his brother, I was like, oh, that was a good fight.
Great fight.
They had a lot of good fights in there. So I was like, oh yeah, my boy Bakugo, he's in there.
Oof.
And Toyoma, I was like, he pretty much got coerced in there. Like I figured off one game of that useless quirk because he was like, oh, I can give you this useless quirk and have you still loyal to me. So I'm just like, man. But yeah, it's good. I've enjoyed it. His quirks and whatnot. And seeing all their backgrounds and everything. Good times.
Okay, so I actually want to touch on that, but I'm going to give you my flavor first. It's coming out of enrolling in the Transcendent Academy. And so this is a different way for like your typical OP character that's conveniently stronger than everyone. He's like taking this super rare online course of transcendence, and where he can learn from all the gods. But like the weird thing is, I forget the basic parameters of it. But essentially, the more progress he makes determines how much karma he has, and how much karma he has determines how much money he needs to take more courses. So like, he's getting really OP, but he's always broke because he keeps making money to spend money. So anytime he's doing something, his number one motivation is money. And my man heard that the mafia in Italy had like something that would amount to like trillions in one. And he decided to use the atomic bomb that they were going to use to kill 90,000 people and try to use it to extort the trillions and trillions of dollars from them. But the mafia dude was kind of crazy and ended up blowing it up himself. Said we're both sorry, we're both gonna lose, and he had to like barely survive. But it is a there is a wave of manhwas getting animated. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of them coming up.
Yeah, what was it called?
Enrolling in the Transcendent Academy.
Oh yeah, it's a thing already.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I would know about it. I feel like.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah.
I think I saw it being like released as a no, that was something else that I started reading and never finished. Getting published physical copy. That seems to be on the rage now too. Korean manhwas being published physically, which the cost might have to be more because like they're usually in color.
Yeah.
So I do want to go back and touch on My Hero. I'm sure you saw it. My Hero, the manga, is officially finished. It's over. It had its ending. It got a tribute from Oda on the cover of the last chapter of One Piece, and you got to kind of see. I'm not mad at the ending at all whatsoever. I wish for the last chapter, she would have extended it a little more. I don't feel like I got all like the information I needed.
Hmm.
And it could just be like there's no information to be had. That could be very well be a thing. But
Yeah.
like she did the I'm sure other people did it, but like she did the Naruto time skip thing where like years later you see where everyone is, what they're doing. Demon Slayer did it as well. But like aside from like a couple things, oh, interesting. I feel like there was really nothing there to like take from it. But regardless of that,
I think Demon Slayer just showed their ancestors.
their descendants.
Yeah, not how they themselves are actually doing.
No, but like from the descendants, you can kind of like draw your own conclusions as to like who ended up with who and stuff like that.
You could.
Yeah. In this
Maybe.
one, I think it only really confirmed two people ending up together, and it could just be me not paying enough attention. Like if I read it again, I'll probably notice something I didn't notice before, but we'll see.
You probably ain't pay enough attention.
I feel like it did, but like I also probably didn't.
Yeah, I know you.
Sometimes I'll read something and it goes in one ear out the other.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how that works with thoughts, but like it still.
Yeah. Yeah. So what show you trying to get into?
Let's see. What would you like to get into?
Dealer's choice, dog. Ass first, baby.
I fucking clicked on the Witch and the Beast. It's actually I'll start with Windbreaker if I can find it in my history. It wasn't. No, I'm going way too far back. It has to be around. Unprepared. There we go. Right.
Yeah. You could have just searched it again and just clicked on it.
Could have, but I feel like I might have taken the same amount of time. So, Windbreaker, episode 1. Sakura arrives at Furin. And this has been an interesting it feels like Tokyo Revengers, but like, help me out here. Like, what else could you compare it to possibly? Like, what would you say to like delinquent vigilantes?
Yeah, some along those lines.
Yeah.
Um,
So, we start off the episode, and kind of learn why Sakura is the way he is. He was bullied all his life for his hair, part of his hair being a different color and his eye being a different color. And so he had to get through life, he had to toughen up and prove himself to a lot of people. And he found the best solution was, his fist. So, um, he meets Tachibana, and she feeds him and he puts on this tough guy act, but like when Odu tried to leave the store and forgot some stuff, Sakura gave him the stuff back, and like the old man thanked him, didn't call him weird for his appearance or anything. Tachibana gave him some candy, and that was like our us starting to get introduced to these characters. So fast forward a little, I should mention that like Tachibana was getting bullied, and Sakura was the one who saved her, and that's why she fed him, because he beat up some dude. And then you fast forward a little, and this dude got his posse, his gang, and they were wreaking havoc in the city. So then it was Sakura versus. Let's see if I can get a count on them real quick. It's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's at least like 15 of them, and some of them have bats. I'm sure like one or two had like a knife. So, all honestly, for as short as he is, my man went in for like a solid 5 minutes. He was just going off, and like it came a point where like they realized they weren't beating him, so they saw Tachibana, and like one guy grabbed her and held a knife close to her throat, but Sakura didn't hesitate to like jump in her direction and kick him in the face. And then he ended up being backed in his getting his back against the wall, and they were all piling up on him because like he was doing really well messing them up, but like he couldn't get what I wanted to say, I guess like enough time for a decisive blow, because like he had to like disperse his attention, I guess. Protecting Tachibana, someone cut his ankle up, and like as soon as it seemed like he was about to get taken out, a kid in his uniform showed up and took the brunt of the hit. And Tachibana seemed really happy to see this dude, and he grabbed the bat and took it away. And that's when his crew showed up, and they were like, "Oh man, you called 4 of us for this little bit." And that's when they all started wrecking all like 15 plus dudes. And Sakura was like just trying to take in the environment. People were coming out and cheering. That's when Tachibana explained that like this place used to be what you thought it was, but recently it's been changed. Now they fight to protect this city from people who want to cause trouble, and they call themselves Bafurin, the Windbreaker. So like the town comes out and thanks them, and like they even at some point go up to Sakura and like thank him, and he's like half in denial and half like realizing what he's seeing. He's just like, they're being praised? That's so cool. And they look like delinquents, like they look like that, and they're being praised. So like he takes he takes a bit of time to process, and he like when it seemed like he was about to just run off, he leapt the entire crowd and then kicked the leader of the other gang in the face, and that's when he like kind of made his introduction. So all in all, it was an interesting episode. As I told Pete, I'm not sure if this is something you particularly would enjoy because they are in high school and there is violence, there is gang related violence. I don't want to say gang related, but like
They
positives, I
are
guess.
gay.
Listen,
They
but
call
like,
themselves a gang.
yeah, they do call themselves a gang, but like,
A gang can be described as three or more people doing acts.
like any kind of acts.
Yeah, that's call it a gang. Participating in whatever they get into a gang. We have a gang of people we play PlayStation games with.
Yeah, we're a crew.
Yeah, it could be defined as a gang.
Could be defined as a gang.
Yeah, a gang of guys together playing games. But yeah, no, it's just like the whole premise of the show is they said that the police stopped invading this, they stopped protecting this area and da da da. I'm like, one, people overseas, they don't play that stuff. They go over there, they just wreck everything, especially the China folks and whatnot. And Japan over there, it's like pretty much authoritarianisms. So I was like, the police ain't just gonna leave that area alone. So I was like, he just lead it up to a gang. They not about that life. So that's when I was like, ugh. Don't know why, but yeah. So yeah, that's one takeaway I had.
Overall, like, how'd you
Terrible.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, it just
But
seemed
are
to me
you
like it
like
was,
are you? I'm sorry. Are you okay with it to like keep going?
nah, you do it, do dog. I'll be there.
Nah, I want you to enjoy it though. Like I can easily enjoy this on the side on my own. You know what I mean? I there's other things I can pick.
You could but do what you feel, King. Do what's in your heart. Be true
I
to
want to know if
yourself.
you enjoy it.
Be true to yourself.
being true to myself, I mean considerate of you, you fucking ass.
Follow your nose.
Oh my! Are you trying to say my nose is big? Because it is.
Nah, just because it's what the toucan would say to go get the cereal you want. Follow your nose.
Follow your nose. Oh man. So yeah,
Like it's pretty much emo Naruto with Sasuke twist. Is what I feel like because he just wants to be acknowledged and loved by all, but he got Sasuke tendencies. Talking about I'm gonna be the strongest. I'm gonna take over the school. This, that, and the other. So, yeah, that was my takeaway. It's like, what if Naruto didn't want to be good, but also wanted to be bad, but good, somewhat adjacent? Yeah, I don't know. It was, yeah. I mean, that's what it reminded me of. So,
I hear you.
so on to the wrong way to use healing magic in a dungeon.
I'm listening.
It's not even the show. I was waiting for you to say something, but you never
No,
did.
I'm not on the wrong way to use healing and then something.
Yeah, the wrong way to use healing magic in a dungeon.
That's not it.
I know. I was waiting for you to say something, but
No,
you never
you're not going to
did.
get a reaction out of me. Continue.
Yeah, so
You think you can? You think you can bait me? Think I'm
yeah,
baitable? I'll have you know I
most
wasn't
of the
even
time
listening.
it works. Yeah, most of the time it works. Right? As soon as I say something about Luffy,
So
you be like, oh, da da da. Put put on my cape and spring into action.
Nah, bro, I don't feel like I defend Luffy that much. I just feel like the bare minimum I want from you is acknowledgement of the success the show currently has. It's very current.
I feel like I would take One Piece out and put in My Hero as the new big three.
Well,
Yeah.
by definition of big three, it's dominating manga sales, which
No, I said what I said.
My Hero would no longer be doing as of last week.
Okay, so we're getting into season 1, episode 9, the end and the beginning, finishing up the flashback. And so my guy, he has a nasty looking cursed sword. They're fighting, they're trading blows, they're going pound for pound. He's in there. He's like, oh man, you're more skilled than I gave you credit for, because she's like fighting and healing herself at the same time, taking attacks, healing herself, which is a very unique way of fighting. So it's like she can't get hurt or harmed, but she also can deal great damage. So she's just a monster.
She is a monster.
Yeah, she said, you're more skilled than I gave you credit for. And so she's like, yeah, that won't do well for y'all. And he's like, y'all can't stop us because y'all heroes aren't there anymore. So apparently you need heroes to actually beat the demon folks, which I kind of don't understand, because if you got people that have powers and were in the army, like, could you just come up with a strategy to defeat them? Like, you didn't need like some overwhelming firepower, because Rose went up against that guy who I think is the demon lord by herself. So it's like, why did y'all really need heroes? Did you really need to summon these almost legal age kids to fight? Like, they don't even have no life experience.
Why did people see, like, that time I got reincarnated as a slime who was an adult in Japan and all copied but used kids?
Like, I don't understand. Like, you could have got like some 25-year-old kid or something, you know.
Yeah, why is anime always kids?
I don't know.
The story would be just fine with adults.
That is a very valid point. It's always kids that get reincarnated. I guess because it could be that they're trying to go for that younger audience. So it feels like, hey, if I see a 16-year-old kid out here struggling with problems, if I just persevere and go through it, then I could come out on top or something. It could be inspirational. But I don't know. But I just...
Yes.
It's just, yeah. I was like, you got one of the strongest folks. Like, y'all could have came up with something. But I don't know. I digress. So it just happens that way. So, yeah. They didn't have to do that. And so, during the middle of the fight, all the demons, they just start grabbing up her troop mates and kamikaze attacks, like the little green beans, killing all of the DBZ characters. And so they get sliced in the arms and killing people, and Rose is losing her composure. And this is where she loses her eye, because she takes the attack. And the blade cuts mana, so she can't heal the eye immediately. So she she ends up losing it. And this is when she doesn't have enough mana to like heal herself and heal the others that were dying. And she's just all up in turmoil and arms and lost her composure. So the troops aren't doing too well. And Rose is really out of the fight because she can't really see with depth perception, which I never really like understand too well
I can if
because
yeah, if I walk around with one eye open, I can get around.
yeah,
I'm not gonna walk into the door just because I can't. Like, yeah, I can't see as much, but like, turn your head a little.
yeah, yeah. So I think it might just be something like if you get your like ocular nerve severed or something, it might do something to the brain. But like I was thinking that too. Like I really don't have a problem like closing my eyes, seeing where something is. So it's like yeah,
And it
it's
happens. It happens in a lot of animes.
yeah. I mean, I know when they tell you shoot a bow, you're supposed to shoot with both eyes open. So I don't really know too much, but I just feel like if you lose your non-dominant eye, I think you're in worse shape than losing your no. If you lose your dominant eye, you're in worse shape than losing your non-dominant eye. But yeah, it didn't make too much sense to me. So yeah, she's about to get sliced by the villain when Owl comes in and takes a blow that cuts her deep. And since Rose's mana connection isn't that strong, and I think it might have got severed at some point, she can't heal, and the cut on Owl can't be infused with her healing magic. So she's left there to bleed out. And she's like, "Oh, what?" She's like, "Why did you do that? That was meant for me. You should have saved yourself." And she's like, "Oh, you're the captain. I gotta save you." Ah. So she's like, "You mean so much to us, and you're the only one that can stop these folks." And so the villain tries to capitalize on this moment and tries to slice her. She grabs the sword. I was like, "Ooh." And then she proceeds to beat him into a tree. I like how she threw the sword right at him and sliced it through the shoulder. And he was like, "Oh, I can't get off the thing." And she was getting ready to kill him. She was so enraged and furious. And this is when a young demon shows up and tries to help him out. And she catches a flashback to Owl. And Nero's like, "You gotta get out of here. I told you stay away. It's my job to make sure you live and protect you and whatnot." And I was like, yeah, I can see it. Even though there are demons, they have fundamental principles. And they're similar in other ways. Which I felt like if they just wanted to hunt creatures, they could have just contacted King, like, "Hey, can we get on your land, hunt some creatures? Like, we want to live peacefully with y'all." They could have found ways to coexist, but this being anime, they have to be evil like that.
They gotta be beefing.
They have to, otherwise, it just doesn't work. So,
Yeah, call him
so
out, Herb.
yeah, so she just lets them go. She's like, "Yeah," and then she reports back to the king, tells him all that happens and whatnot, and how she lost everybody and she was bringing all their bodies back. And so at the end of the conversation, she also says, I want my knighthood revoked. I lost an eye and I'm like, I'm not fit for this anymore." So she's down. She walks through the town at some point and one of her troop members' family was like, "Hey, we thank you for bringing this body back so we give him proper burial." And she's still all down. And so she reaches her cottage, and the king's other knight checks on her, and she makes this real dark joke. And I was like, "Yeah, I knew I liked Rose." And he's like, "Hey, don't say that." And he's like, "Oh, could you blame me for what I've been through? I'm allowed to make dark jokes." Yeah, so he leaves. Then Al comes along, gives a little pep talk. It's like, "Yeah, you gotta stop your moking. This, that, and the other. You'll be fine. You gotta pick your head up and go." The usual inspirational stuff happens when you get smacked down and almost died. So then we flash back to reality.
Snap back to reality.
thought you were gonna finish the line, but you didn't.
No, I didn't.
And you call yourself an Eminem fan.
I ain't trying to get DMC, bro. He's like the most famous white guy. Nah, probably not the most famous white guy. Most famous white rapper.
Maybe. So she's talking back to my boy Usato, and she's like, "Yeah, can you imagine if all the healers were like me?" And he's like, "Nope, not want to sleep tonight," which I thought was hilarious. And she like hits him, and then he's like, and he heals himself because he can. So then
Because
they
he
start
can.
talking. Yeah. And then they start talking about her creating the fighting healing force and the unique style that she has, which allows her to be a force on the battlefield, which she uniquely thought of. Like no one else thought about that before her, which is good. And they just keep talking about stuff, and it's like, I don't have to worry about you because you won't die on the battlefield. You heal yourself in your fight. You got the strength and everything, the wherewithal. I trained you well. But, yeah. So. And then Flash it ends, and we get to Merleon, and the demons repaired the bridge, so they'll be invading soon.
We about to see some action.
Maybe Slaby. Gotta get over the animal rabies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you may continue on.
Okay.
Come to Jujutsu.
Do you want to do Jujutsu?
If you want, or you got something else you want to talk about.
Solo. You didn't read Solo?
Oh, I did read Solo.
Okay. Thoughts?
Which I had. Yeah. Yeah. I was reading it and I was thinking about it. I was like, he's not non-awakened. I was like, he got powers, but then I remembered that he got his powers sealed.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
it finally came through. And where did his parents go? Is the other question.
it's very. I was about to say there's okay. So initially, when I said I wanted to like react to this, like this is something like for those of you listening, before I chose solo leveling Ragnarok, I chose The Witch and the Beast. I've seen some clips of it on Instagram. It looks interesting. The first episode was interesting, and it's not that I wasn't interested in it. It was just if you've been with us from the beginning of this, you would know that like solo leveling is very, 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 very high on my list of most enjoyable content. And I've read the manhwa multiple times. I've listened to the light novel multiple times. And I'm gonna watch the anime season 1, although I have a lot of gripes with it, again before season 2 comes out in a couple months.
Me?
Now, I didn't think about a couple of these things until after I brought it to your attention and like said, "Hey, can we replace the Witch and the Beast with this?" But there are a lot of similarities with the first two like the first chapter of this and the first chapter of Solo Leveling. And then there are a lot of questions because it's a sequel and like you're trying to figure out what the is going on, how is this going on. So like let's get into it. You made your comment. I gave my quick thing right there. So let's get into it. Chapter 1, Solo Leveling Ragnarok. And in this chapter, we learn there are outer gods that are omnipotent beings that in shorter terms got bored with existence and found enjoyment in making their creations fight each other. Fast forward a little, we get into our boy Jinwoo's world where the rulers betrayed their creator and Ashbourne became the shadow monarch and Jinwoo got the power. These outer world gods discovered this and found excitement and enjoyment in the situation and were eager to try to be the new ruler of said world. That was our intro. A little backstory, little plot, possibly why what's about to happen is happening. So we start the chapter after like that prologue, and crap, what's Chinyu's son's name?
It's like Sunho.
Sunho. I think it is Sunho. He gets accepted into a Korean University of Arts. Kids and his friends are like saying, "Oh, how the hell did you get in?" And he's like gloating. And then some other dude comes in. We saw him get his butt beat, or you heard him get his butt beat in the bonus chapters of Solo Leveling. He comes in and picks a fight with Jinwoo. And like as soon as he gets in his face, what's up?
You said Sunwoo?
Yeah, Sunwoo. I said Jinwoo. Oh, that's gonna be rough. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to get used to that.
Yeah, because I was like, "Who's Sinu?" I was like, "Sinu." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What?" It's weird. Like, who's this little kid?
I think I was just speaking so fast that I tried to say Jinwoo, and it was wrong anyway. But
yeah, that's how it be.
Yoon Chil is the guy bullying him, and the girls are commenting on how like he's acting like a kid even though he's about to graduate. And then Suho dodges his attack and then knees him in the face, like really like picking up where we left off, how like Suho is a talented fighter and he's not with it. So he's like, why can't we just chill out before we graduate? But he notices that like Yuchil doesn't really move even though there's blood coming, even though his nose looks broken. And he was like, what the hell? It doesn't hurt at all. And like you see magic come out from his hands, and he like Suho dodges, and that appears to be like the first awakened being that we see. And I thought what was kind of cool or interesting, I don't know if it was by design, but like if you notice, the back of his shirt kind of looked like an orc from like Jinwoo's Shadow Army. But anyways, he took a swung at Suho. He missed. Destroyed the locker. He was very shocked, and we get a time skip. A 2-year time skip. Suho is a sophomore in college. Before the time skip, we discovered that like Suho lost both his parents. So Chaehin or Haein Cha and Jinwoo disappeared mysteriously out of nowhere. So homeboy is roughing it alone. And flash forward 2 years.
I mean, he still got an aunt, so
He has an aunt?
Yeah.
Who the hell is his aunt? Oh, well, yeah, Jinna.
Jinwoo's sister.
But like they said he was roughing it alone. Did they mention her?
He said he was all alone. I think they basically just said he had no parents. So I was like,
it'd be nice to see Jinna because she's with Jinho. But like, I
have no idea.
I'm gonna get into the questions I have about this later. I'm gonna finish the recap, and I'm gonna get into the questions later. So 2 years later, Hunters and Gates are back, and Suho seems to not be awakened. Very, very, very confusing at first. You know, we go through spiel like, oh, hunters are raiding the gate, this and that. It's been like this for 2 years. And overall, the process is the same as it used to be because my boy, Manager Wu, since, you know,
Yeah.
Manager Kim, I thought he had a Wu in his name.
It's Hunter Kim. They just call him Hunter Kim.
Hunter Kim, he got his memories back from Jinu. So he knew, or Jinu, I think it's properly pronounced Jinu. He got his memories back from Jinu. So, like, he knew, unfortunately, how to assess the situation and how to handle it. So he's reminiscing on how the world changed and how people got powers, but motherfucker called them awakeners instead of hunters, and that bothered me very much.
The Awakened.
The awakeners. And then later clarified with the word hunter between the awakened hunters and the unawakened civilians, and Suho was in our class. Unawakened civilians.
Non-awakened.
Unawakened is what they said.
It's non-awakened.
But unawakened civilians is what it says right here.
Which one are you reading?
I'm reading the one in Reaper Scans. Which one are you reading?
On mangaread.org.
All right. So from what I know with these websites is like they have translators, so there could be some translation errors.
Yeah, because mine says non-awakened.
Yeah, we might get some. Hopefully, our stories just kind of stay relatively the same.
I hope they diverge.
Yeah, one says Suho's depressed and wanted to kill himself.
Turns into fan fiction.
What's gonna turn into fan fiction? Suho's in love with a shadow.
Yeah.
So he's in art class and he is very subconsciously drawing Beru. A gate doesn't break. I think what happened, I'm scrolling down now, is that a hunter that came out from the gate turned into the creature he was saying was no big deal. Like, it was a new humanoid beast with blue flames, but they went down pretty easy. But he did get scratched, but it didn't hurt at all, and then he combusted into the same creature. Now, what was interesting about this is, like, he had time to get injured, finish the dungeon, come out, and explain all this. But everyone he touched right after instantly became infected. So everyone in the area was turning into this creature, and obviously one ended up in the school nearby, and Suho wanted to make a break for it. Some chick fell and asked for help, and he was scared to death and said he'll go get help, and started running. And then, like, he was thinking to himself, he was like beating himself up. He's like, why did I even say that? I know I just left her to die, but the only thing an unawakened like me can do, or a non-hunter, you said?
Non-awakened
can do is, and then he like stopped and he was like, fucking with the non-awakened again. Like, nothing's gonna change if I don't stop thinking like that. And like he was thinking of Jinyu and like what he would do, and like how he wouldn't be running away like Suho's doing. So Suho came back, hit the transformed human with a fire hydrant, and Suho triggered the he completed the Courage of the Weak quest. And that's how the chapter ends. So I'm going to ask for your thoughts before I go deeper into mine.
Yeah, I feel like Janu's not dead because his I feel like his aunt's still there, if that makes sense, and his whole spell will still work.
Mm-hmm.
So if he wasn't there, then I feel like this is just like a Naruto getting put into a box until they can free him type deal.
Right, right. I think so. There are similarities to that. Now that you mentioned that, there are similarities to that. Like Jinyu and Heian might be in like another dimension because of those outer world gods. Maybe they figured he was too strong, so he was a piece that needed to go.
Well,
Um,
I think they also just wanted it was something different, so they wanted that amusement. But
right.
everyone wants that. They want that yeah, because at the beginning they said they would like to harness that power. They got rid of the gods for themselves.
So
So
to elaborate on what you said, like you definitely think the Ant is still around and stuff like that. I think the entire Shadow Army is still around. It's just that Suho, his powers are sealed because he has the same power. He inherited the same powers the Jinyu has. His are just sealed. So the Shadow Army is kept in a separate dimension that I believe it doesn't matter who uses it if they have the Shadow Army's powers. It's the same dimension. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Now, my thing is one, where's Jinna? Where's Jinho? And why hasn't Hunter Kim, above anyone else, approached Suho about his parents and like about awakened beings and things like that? Or maybe he has and they just haven't shown that yet.
well, because all this happened 2 years ago, but Janu he made it so the world didn't have a need for hunters.
Mm-hmm.
So like they wouldn't know anything about that.
Also, a mystery right now, an unanswered question is who gave him the Courage of the Weak quest? Because Jinyu stopped getting quests once the architect was out of the picture. And Jinyu's not around to give this quest to Suho.
He might have did it when he sealed the system.
I don't think
Because
so, purely because I'm going to give you my reason why I don't think he put in the quest prematurely. Or I don't think premature is the word. In
I think he
advance.
might have. Yeah, he might have did it because. Well, you can go ahead and I'll say it.
I
But,
think he didn't because in the bonus chapters of solo leveling, when we were introduced to Suho and he was doing the whole grinding and very fast leveling, fighting Igris, Beru, the other big wigs. At the end of it, when Suho attacked Jinyu, he erased his memory and sealed his powers again. And his explanation was, he said this is the fourth time, and Igor said this was his best attempt yet. And then Jinyu's explanation was, yes, but when the outcome was uncertain or he knew he wasn't going to win, he charged at me anyway. I want him to know that he doesn't have to fight. Like, running is an option. If I would have done that against the Dragon King, we wouldn't be here today. So, for that reason, I feel like it's not Jinyu who activated or put in this quest because Jinyu was actively, as far as I know, every once in a while testing Suho to see if he was ready to start learning to wield his abilities.
but yeah, so I would say at that point in time, Suho, I feel like he was just fighting to fight, and he wasn't thinking like ramifications or repercussions of his actions because he's just treating it like a big old video game. And so I think when it Courage of the Weak was like, even though he doesn't think that like he'll win, like he'll put his life on the line for a worthy cause, even though he's weak to try to save someone, which makes him more like Jinnu because he knew that even though it's bleak, he's like, I had to save some of the folks that are in this dungeon with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be something like set him on a path to give him the power that he needs to save people. So yeah, courage. He's weak. He's non-awakened. So he might did it, and that might be the catalyst he needed to unlock it. So he might be old enough to understand the fact that even though things are bleak, like I gotta try to save folks, or grab her and run, or do something, get out that predicament.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how both of them end up getting their powers started, jump started, or in Sun Ho's case, his powers released. Yeah,
Overall, I was pleased with this chapter one.
I wasn't.
I think it's a little evident that the creator is not the original person. Just for from I feel like how fast things developed, where like it took a couple chapters for Jinnu to get access to this ability, but I guess since we've already been introduced to it, they had the luxury of speeding it up a little. I'm curious to see his weapon of choice because like on this little cover, I don't know if it's fan art or whatnot, but he seems to be holding a dagger or a sword, which I know in the bonus chapters he didn't like a dagger. He preferred like a gauntlet type of weapon because he
No, he
trusted
liked
his
his
fist
sword.
more.
No, he had a sword.
No, he didn't.
He did, dog.
Did
He had
not.
the sword. He's like, oh, who would use a dagger? Use a sword.
And then he grabbed gauntlets.
Nah, dog.
Yes,
That's a sword.
gauntlet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Harvey, I've
What
listened
are
to the
you
story
saying,
multiple
King?
times. Trust
Go
me, he
ahead.
grabbed the
Let's do
gauntlet.
it again, dog.
Trust me, he grabbed the gauntlet.
Okay. I might believe you.
I believe me, it's all right.
I don't.
So yeah, I'm excited to see chapter 2. I'm excited to see what's different about this, like what's different about this, if there's any differences between the systems. I'm excited to see what happened to Jinyu and Heian. I'm excited to see if Hunter Kim is gonna eventually approach Suho. Um, I thought at some point it was implied that Jinho knew about the other timeline Jinnu, but I don't think it was verbally confirmed. So I'm interested to know like if Suho has a relationship with Jinna and Jinho. Are they anywhere around? What's going on with them? Are his grandparents still alive in somewhere? A lot of things I'm looking forward to see. Thoughts, comments, final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. Ain't too bad, you know.
All right, that's Oh shit, Jujutsu. Go ahead.
Jujutsu. Yeah, Jujutsu 264 in Human Makio Shinjuku Showdown Part 36. So I was reading this and I thought, I was like, man, this really feels like One Piece. It's dragging on when they could have just ended the fight.
It's a shame. I knew where you were going with that.
I was like,
piece of shit.
I was like, God, I was like, really?
But I actually like the chapter. I like that chapter.
Yeah. There was, did you read both of them?
Both of them?
Yeah, there's two. There's 264 and there's 265.
I did read both of them.
Okay.
I like the last
Yeah.
chapter, I should say.
Yeah, because the angel lady, she lost the arm, and I was like, "What? When did she lose the arm?"
I forgot we didn't talk about the chapter before this recent one.
Yeah, and Toto gets knocked out because he's trying to protect her from Sukuna, and Yuji's like right behind Sukuna fighting him. And my boy Yuji has a domain expansion, and I was like, "What? He has a domain expansion?" And so he just pick it up. I was like, "My man, really turned into Luffy, just getting powers out of nowhere." But yeah, so his domain expansion is a time area in time, I guess, because he ended up at the train station outside his old hometown. And 265 called it that day. He's like, Sukuna, I just want to talk to you, man. You know, break it down. They stroll down memory lane, doing all sorts of odd activities and whatnot, and showing him his stomping grounds. And this part, I was like, ooh. Yuji's like, I could kill you, Sukuna. He's like, leave Fushiguro and return to me, and I'll spare you. And Sukuna's like,
Oh man,
psych.
flipped out, bro.
He's like,
he rage on his face.
I was like, I'll kill you and everyone you care about.
That man said the old fucking audacity.
Yeah, I was like, wow. It's like, man, I can't believe you. But yeah, he did it. I'm excited to see where it goes. Hopefully, it leads to Fushiguro coming back. Yeah. Like, I'm like, man, just don't be like One Piece. Please end in a respectful amount of time.
At some point, please end.
Respectfully. Yes. You don't need to drag it out.
They are. I feel like it is being dragged out a little, though.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're coming up with a whole new arc with Sukuna's dead, and they have another villain they introduce.
That feels unlikely. I'm not saying it's impossible. It just feels.
I mean, because he's the worst sorcerer in history.
Yeah, like how you had this man kill like almost everyone. It's like no one was a match for him. How are you gonna do something better than that?
I mean, you could have a Naruto moment where you introduce Otsutsuki, someone even worse. But who's gonna fight him? Because most people are dead.
Yeah, everyone's dead. It ain't. If Yuji can't do it, no one's going to.
But I wouldn't mind if that happened though. Just have someone just come in and just kill everybody. Like I was hoping that would happen with UA. They're like, we'll fight along with you, Deku. I was hoping that Toboro would just come in and just like ash half the class. You know?
Wow.
Because I'm like, y'all know no match for that man. Talking about y'all, we'll fight with you.
The power of friendship is a strong cliche.
Yeah, super strong. Like, what are you going to do? Tape him? He's just going to be like, psst, get out the way.
Dude, tape him. You're a support hero. Sit your ass on the sidelines.
Yeah, like, Invisible Girl, what are you going to do? Sneak up on him? Oh, do you get anywhere in that decay? You're dead. But, like, let me shoot my belly laser. Stop. Y'all know y'all couldn't do that. There's maybe, I don't know, 6 heroes that might have did it. There's I say Todoroki, Bakugo. Ida might be able to outrun him.
You think so?
Yeah, Ida's fast.
Ida is fast.
Long range users. Forget the Black Hawk guy. He might be able to fight him. Yeah, not that too many others. Creativity.
The bird dude, the shadow.
Yeah.
Damn, why am I drawing a blank on his name?
I drew blank too. I see him clear as day, but I can't think of his name. Yeah, electric guy might be able to fight him from a distance, but
He
it's
can't handle his own output. It'll be a short battle.
no, he can. He got better at doing it.
Yeah, I don't think he's on a scale where he can handle Shigaraki though.
Yeah, he can help fight though a little bit. Don't want to be go toe to toe. But yeah, the other ones, nah. Y'all need to sit on down. Talk about we'll help fight. They should just let Deku run his own way. Let him go.
In
What
all,
y'all gonna do?
in all honesty, if the ending went a different route, I would have been okay with it. But like, I'm also not mad at how the ending went.
Yeah, like they all they were. I know they were not strong enough to where they could have stopped that boy. Not all of them. Don't leave. You let they had that little slingshot. That man was out. He hit a sonic boom whip. Gone. There ain't no way y'all catch up to him. Gone. Power of friendship was strong. Very
Super
cliche.
short.
I was hoping they'd just come in and just decay. Half the class gone.
It's interesting how they handled like Deku being able to use multiple quirks towards the end. It kind of just all happened back to back to back to back. You know what I mean?
I mean, he did learn them kind of fast.
He did, bro. You know
Yeah,
how long it took for him to be able to use um the super strength efficiently?
yeah.
My man was
I
a
mean,
master at the other shit right away.
I feel like also once you get a handle on the other powers like come with it. If that makes sense, because you're
I have to be fair. I have to be fair. The successors were guiding him on how to properly use their powers. And
yeah,
Deku was such a nerd, like he over analyzes everyone's abilities. He probably like
and yeah. He equated in terms of which he could apply the power after he learned the Black Whip. He was able to just like get it. It's like, oh yeah, do this, this, and this, and but I feel like him having the basis of the super strength first allowed him to have a stronger control over the other quirks and their aspects, and also gave him modified control because he had to like modulate his outputs and certain certain ones. I don't feel like they need like power, like the float power isn't one that's too bad. The Black Whip's not too bad. You just shoot out a little whip.
Fa Rin is. I don't completely understand it, but like it also seems like to come in handy. Fajin, I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah, the one where he has to do an action over and over and it multiplies it.
Mm-hmm.
That one, it's kind of. I feel like All Might's used that one before. He squatted like twice and then he was like, "Rah!" and he just took off. Yeah, and I'm still mad about Stars and Stripes, boy. She should have defeated him. She was playing around.
I was like starting to like her, and then like, oh poof. It's like I could get
Yeah,
into this character, and like, oh, gone. Okay, that's cool.
I feel like she should have after she should have like instead of using the handsome quirk on herself, the first one she should have just went and just did like, oh, I would not die or whatever or something. Like she could have used both of them. Like she didn't have to enhance because she's fighting at a distance at that point. I could see if she was like up close.
She went for it too early.
Yeah, I mean I don't want to say too early, but like she could have used her orders differently and more efficiently.
Yeah. Also, like she wasn't sure, so she shouldn't have continued. Like the probably the most OP hero we came across, and she was gone as fast as she showed up.
Yeah. That's why I was like, what? Because I would have made a thing like, I would have said, I will not die by decay. And as soon as I see the, as soon as I missed, I would have said that. I would have gave up the fortifying my body one that she keeps on at all times. And I would have like, I would not die by decay. These lasers will pierce anything it touches and
Also,
kill them.
what's the sensei Aizawa?
Yeah.
Also, all of my funding and research would have went towards finding him whatever material he needed to be able to keep his eye open indefinitely without straining him or like doing anything. And second, everyone's priority would have been to protect him.
Yeah. I mean, also they could just shot him with some bullets from Aerie, you know. Aerie could have reversed Aizawa's leg, like his eye.
There's
Just
there's a lot that like I expected to happen towards the end. Then I was like, okay, I
so
guess
many
not.
flowers. So many. I would reverse his eye, reverse his leg. I would have came up with those corks ending bullets. Like, yeah. Just done. So. I would have Aerie reverse All Might's wound. Send him back in time so he could have helped. But, yeah. They also said something. Yeah, I think All Might was supposed to die fighting a major villain. And I'm wondering, is that past? Was that in Camino, or is that going to be in these last 2 episodes? I don't know. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff I just left there. So.
Well, nonetheless, it was an enjoyable. Black Clover came out with another chapter. I'm gonna read at some point.
I'll catch one at some time.
It came back and then disappeared for like 2 months and came back again.
Yeah, they did get their affairs in order.
You got anything else to talk about, Irby?
No, that's about it.
All right, that was a decent episode, guys. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.
Peace.